Inferiority complex, identifying it and healing it. Inferiority complex in us, in our system, consciousness, and psychological patterns is so common and so unconscious that we don't even notice it. There are various forms of inferiority complexes that exist in all of us, and we keep acting on it. So, that is a life of action and reaction. The most common form of inferiority complex is wealth. We feel so inferior around wealthy people, and it is accepted as such a norm that everyone is trying to be rich and to do what the rich people do and keep getting closer and closer, one step at a time, to what the rich people do. We don't realize it when the distance or the difference is too big. We feel, no, I never want to be like them. But if you notice it in your immediate surroundings, you're always trying to look at people who are wealthier than others living in the same environment, same society as you, and you kind of want to go closer to that. And that is how the entire marketing and advertising world is thriving on. Everyone is made us believe that we need this, but what are we unconsciously doing? We are doing everything that takes us one step closer to the richness or to what the rich people do. There is no other way of living except for people who have identified it and are not living in an action and reaction mode. They are not bothered by it. They are the awakened ones. The forms of inferiority complexes, such as looks, economic disparity, I already said that, and your culture, your knowledge, educational background, and list can go on. And we unconsciously just go and feel inferior and act on it. What is the origin of this inferiority complex? The first and most common thing is you got it from your parents. They probably got it from their parents and they got it from their parents. So it has become part of a conditioned collective mind pattern, and we are unconsciously living it. Let's imagine a scenario. Our ancestors have lived in a time where they were treated differently or looked down on because of their color, culture, their social, economic status, or their appearance, caste, lots of other things. And it became part of their consciousness, and they died with it, and now it has become part of the consciousness or the karma of your lineage. Now it is part of your DNA and you are born with it. You would see certain mental patterns in some families more than others because nobody has taken the courage to break it in their ancestry, but you can do it. So let's identify different forms of inferiority complexes and how we are living it unconsciously. Next time you go around a person and you start feeling small compared to them, become conscious of it. Why am I feeling this way? We don't have to think too much about it every time. The simplest ways, go to the source of it and act from there. The biggest and the real reason is you don't know your own self. We are so far away from our own center that whatever the world is feeding us, we believe it. That is what we call as living in the world of illusion. So if our parents lived in a certain way, teachers, society, people that we looked up to, all of them have made you believe that achieving, owning, possessing something is everything. You are just following that blindly. But we have the power. Moment we identify it, we take the ownership and show some courage to break that pattern. So let's take a common example. Next time we go in a gathering and see another person who is wearing better clothes, or maybe they have a better house or own a better car, in whatever way they made us feel small. The most common way people deal with inferiority complexes, they create another thought form, which is a superiority complex. And through that superiority complex, whenever they feel inferior around people, They demean them, try to bring them down, find faults in them, wait for anything that they do wrong so that they can tell them, oh, how you did something so wrong, so that they feel better about themselves. We are all unconsciously living like this. Haven't you seen a person who's wealthier? Other people say, oh, he's a bad person. A woman who's extremely beautiful compared to other women in her surrounding, all the women talk about her, but everyone's waiting for her to just falter, do something wrong so that they can feel better about themselves. This is a form of inferiority complex. And moment we identify this, we should ask ourselves, do I really want to live with these kind of lower vibrations? We have a chance to heal. So the day you decide that, oh, this is inferiority complex, nobody told me about it, yes, that's a good start. But there is a chance that again another war will start inside you, which is you will feel inferior about feeling or having inferiority complex. Watch that as well. Because the first thing that ego will do is, oh, others saw me like that. Was I acting like this? Do I have inferiority? Others could see my inferiority complexes, and become aware of that also, because now another thought is trying to fight this original thought. So as we discussed that people, to deal with their inferiorities, which is, let's say, this thought where they felt inferior compared to others, which is just a thought form, they created another thought form, which is superiority complex. But now you have two thoughts. What does healing it mean? Having no thoughts, being in your own centeredness. We feel inferior or any lower vibrational energies or tendencies only because we have gone far away from our own center, our own real being, our divine essence. Now we are so identified with this way of living where we are competing with others to look better than others, having a better life than others, doing everything which is better than others in our immediate surroundings. Now the mind is not going to adopt this idea of healing your inferiority complex. Why would I do that? Nobody around me is doing that. The reason you should do that is, in the long run, we are creating suffering for ourselves. So if you are living in this thought pattern, we are making this thought pattern stronger and stronger. And if you see a lot of people in their old age, they keep suffering the same pattern because they never took time to identify it, become conscious of it, and choose a life of conscious living. We have a chance to heal it right away, become conscious of our low vibrational tendencies and heal them so that we don't carry them on and keep making them stronger and stronger and stronger and live a miserable life as we age, and especially old age. So let us identify it, and moment you have another thought that makes you feel small, that, oh, were you living so small, don't believe that thought as well. It's not your fault. You got it from the conditioned way of living that is commonly accepted in this world. So now we come to the healing. Moment we identify these tendencies in ourselves, we begin a journey of healing. And once we heal it in ourselves, we heal it not only in our consciousness, but in our DNA, our ancestry, our lineage, for our future generations, for people around us, in our immediate surroundings, and the entire world at large. This is your biggest selfless act of service. Become a walking and talking conduit of this light, of this presence, divine essence. That inferiority is only because you don't know yourself. We are so conditioned to live in the way of action and reaction. Somebody made you feel small. Now suddenly another thought will come, I'm going to make them feel small. I'm going to bring them down and demean them, or find ways to outdo them, surpass them, waste another 5 or 10 years of my life to prove it to them that I also own what you have. I can also get there where you already are. Maybe they're not even thinking about you. It's you who's feeling small. Sometimes these inferiority thought forms can take such a demonic form that you will be engulfed by it and live in that fear of just that thought form which has overpowered you. So, no matter how bad it feels, identify it, watch it, don't act on it. Just look at it as a devil's whisper. It's trying to push you to take actions which is wrong action. Don't listen to it. You're bigger than that. All the idea behind doing all this healing is becoming rising above all your lower energies, lower vibrations, your own mental fixed patterns and tendencies, which is your karma. I'll make another video on karma and how not to create any new karma. For now, please take this ownership and show some courage to heal yourself. When you heal yourself, you enter another dimension of being, which is the real human being. When you exist from there, you have everything. You are the most powerful without having any power that this world identifies with. It may seem far-fetched, but it's not. Act on it right now and stop suffering. Please do yourself this much favor. You can do it. I promise. I'll see you again.